And so that's, again, that part of the story. All right, so we've covered a little bit of ground here. I would like to talk a little bit about, some of the basics of the movie, what we've done. We've used, like I said earlier, basically a lot of volunteers. These people didn't necessarily agree with my position on the subject. I want to make that clear. What they saw was an opportunity to tell a story, to take part in a production of this nature, and they all gave all they had to it, emotionally, professionally, personally, and again, I want to thank them for that. I suppose I could talk a little bit about some of the techniques that we used. We've already seen the blue screen, that's why I'm not in front of it again. I kind of pondered there for a little while when I was going to do this interview to maybe have the background changing, to the different scenes that we use in the movie, but then I thought, they've seen it already. I think I'll just kind of make it nice and quiet and talk to you as, one person talks to another, and not have a lot of information flowing in the background. So here we are in this particular set, as I said, and the movie opens up in a meditation. And what we used for the star fields that were involved there, first we had an actual set, as you saw Nathan explaining, and that didn't work out real well. There was a little too much reflection, and so I decided that I was going to move to the blue screen for all the subsequent shots, and that's what I did. And the trick with the blue screen, of course, is that you can't have anything that has any kind of a blue tint in it. White's really bad, which caused me a great deal of trouble, but the white was necessary for our themes. But any blue just kind of, fades away, and you see through the person, and you will have seen some of that in the movie. If not in an entire torso, you may have seen it in, a hat or a gown or, bits and pieces. I won't tell you all the mistakes, but just to let you know that I do know that they're there. Some of that we can fix with some professional post-production equipment, but I'm not sure how effective that'll be. But again, what was important for us was to be able to tell the story and to do it, simply and as easily as we could, making it as interesting as we could. All of the costumes, all of them, were made by my wife Carol, with the exception of the Roman costumes, and of course the helmets we had to purchase, the weapons we had to purchase. The tunics we made from dresses. You may have been able to tell that. The leather, the simulated leather, imitation leather, we did have to purchase that, although we did add some other accoutrements to them. I think what was hardest about this entire process, the technical part was frustrating. I won't mention the particular programs I was using, but they were a little unstable, and that presented a problem. Hours and hours of having to go back and fix a problem minor. The program would kick something out or move it or some other little difficulty. But that's to be expected, especially with someone, baby boomers. We're not real good at computer technology anyway. We struggle through that as it is. But really, I think the hardest thing for me was just trying to get the people together. That was so hard. Not that they weren't willing. It was just, like I said earlier, we were constantly working with opposing schedules. We didn't have any money to pay anyone, and so we had to juggle that quite a bit. Cody Wood, actually, who's Nathan's brother. There are three brothers who are in this, of course. Nathan, Kiefer, and Cody Wood. Kiefer, Nathan, Johnny, and Cody Wood. And they were going to play three of the four brothers. Their brother, their oldest brother, Ronnie, I'm going to say this here, kind of a dedication and kind of so that everyone knows what's going on. Ronnie was killed in Iraq, in Kirkuk from improvised explosive device. Very, very sad. Very wonderful man. Would give you the shirt off his back, do anything for you. Had a kindness and a compassion that you don't find in many people. So we want to make sure we mention him. It would have been nice to have had all 4 brothers in this movie. So we started out with Nathan playing Yossi and Cody playing Jude and Johnny playing Kiefer. Well, Cody and Johnny are far, far away. So we took one of the last scenes of the movie first, and that's when Kiefer grabs Jude on the mountainside and puts a knife to his throat. So the Kiefer that you see there, we're going to try to keep the same. But Jude we had to change. And actually it wasn't a bad idea anyway, because Jude and Yossi are supposed to be twin brothers. So we'll eventually change that scene out, probably with Cody at the end, and maybe have Cody play another part if he ever gets a chance. So really, that's been the most difficult problem, and that's why I said earlier that being able to shoot with a blue or green screen and, you know, close at home and all that here has been really important. Now I've got to mention one last thing before I go, and that is that when I first started all this, I got a book called Filmmaking for Dummies. Excellent book. I suggest it to anyone who wants to get into this. And he mentioned several rules in the very front page of the book. And I am a rule breaker, not to be nasty or anything, but I'm always, you know, pushing the envelope. I've made a lifelong career of that. It's gotten me into some trouble, but I think I've always done things for the right reason. Be that as it may, let me tell you about these rules. One of them, right up front, says, do not make a period film, period. In other words, don't make a film about something that happened way before your time. You're going to run into costuming problems, you're going to run into traditional problems, you're going to run into all kinds of difficulties. And what do? I make a period film. So that kind of tells you, you know, I guess the gist of my entire work here. I wanted to tell this story, and I hope you've enjoyed it. Now, we're going to go ahead and we're going to have a little interview with some other people, some of the other folks on the show. Again, I want to thank everybody that took part, and if they weren't on this side of the camera, they were on the other, providing lights, providing food, providing, if nothing more than just a pat on the back saying, nice try. All right. Thank you very much for watching.